Now in this video, we would go through an overview on argument writing, which is an important task of analytical writing. We would take an introduction on the various parameters of evaluation and all the concepts that we should take care of to get a good score in argument writing. Now, analytical writing consists of two tasks: analyze an issue and analyze an argument. Analyze an argument task is one of the two separately timed analytical writing tasks. You should give your response in 30 minutes and you should be scored on a 6-point scale. It accesses your critical thinking and analytical writing skills. You are given an argument in the question and you are evaluated on its logical soundness and the connectivity between all the ideas that you've generated. You have to ensure that everything is well connected and the examiner is able to understand the meaning as intended. You have to follow the instructions that are specified and conveyed in the writing. The maximum word limit that you have to take care of is 550 to 650 words. Now let's go through the user interface. The students will use a word processor developed by ETS to type their response. It would include the basic functionalities like insert text, delete text, cut and paste, and undo the previous action. But your tools like spell checker and grammar checker are not available in ETS. The students have to ensure that the spellings are correctly typed and the grammatical rules are precisely followed. Now let's go through the scoring guide. The average score of analyze an argument and analyze an issue is reported as the final AWA score. The essay is scored based on the following criteria: content, line of reasoning in line with the instructions, coherence, logical soundness, vocabulary and lexical range, grammar and spelling. So let's take up all these parameters one by one. The first is content. Content is very important. It should clearly identify the important features of the argument and analyze them insightfully. If you analyze the argument in a general perspective way, it would not appear convincing to the examiner to give you a good score. And if you just identify and analyze important feature without any clarity or clear basis, then also you'll be penalized. If you present the writer's own views on the subject and there's no logical basis, that would reduce your score too. Having only some analysis of the argument and no clear analysis will also reduce your band. Then providing little or no evidence of the ability to understand and analyze the argument will also bring no clarity about your writing, and therefore you would get a low score. So line of reasoning in line with the instructions. So you have to develop your ideas clearly, organize them logically, and connect them using appropriate transitions. If you develop and organize ideas satisfactorily, but you do not connect them properly, then also examiner will not be able to understand the flow of the ideas. If you mainly analyze the tangential or irrelevant matters or your reasons are poorly justified, then also you will not get a good score. Then developing no ideas, or if they are disorganized or illogical, will also reduce your score. Then providing little or no evidence of the ability to develop an organized response will also lead to a low score. So you have to take care of these points and ensure that everything should be clearly developed. All your ideas should be organized logically and well connected so that the flow of ideas is smooth and examiner is able to get convinced with your writing to give you a good score. Then coherence and logical soundness is also a very important parameter. You have to effectively support the main points of the critic. So it's mostly correct, but it's not, though not entirely. But whichever main points that you support has to be justified with the help of some example, or they have to be substantiated to appear convincing to the examiner to give you a good score. Just mentioning the main points and not justifying them will not help, or having limited logical development and organization of ideas will also lead to a low score, or providing little if any relevant or reasonable support will also reduce your score. Then providing little or no evidence of the ability to develop an organized response will also not be useful. So be careful identify your main points and support them, substantiate them uh, using appropriate examples or whatever information you want to give. Then vocabulary and lexical range is also an important parameter. You have to demonstrate control of language, including appropriate word choice, and you have to showcase a variety of sentences, which will also help the examiner understand your grasp over the language. If you just demonstrate the sufficient control of language, but you use the words repetitively and you do not give a variety of sentences or word choice, this would definitely reduce your band. If you're while you're expressing your ideas, there is no clarity and you offer support of little relevance and value for points of the critics, then that will also reduce your band. Having serious problems in the use of language and in sentence structure that frequently interferes with the meaning will also lead to a low score. So you have to take care of all these parameters which are striked out, and you have to ensure that you have everything that the examiner is looking for to get a good score. Lastly, we have grammar and spelling. You have to, demonstrate the facility with the conventions of standard written English, but you may have minor errors, which is okay as long as it doesn't interfere with the exact meaning or the intention of the writing. If you demonstrate control of the conventions of standard written English, but you have quite a few errors, then the examiner may not be able to understand the concepts properly. If you have occasional major errors or frequent minor errors, then usage or mechanics can interfere with the meaning. For example, if you consistently have subject verb agreement kind of mistakes, or you have plural, singular, or maybe tenses. So these mistakes with respect to, I mean, especially with respect to tenses, will hinder the correct understanding of the concept, and that would definitely reduce your band. So having serious errors in grammar, usage, or mechanics that frequently obscure the meaning will also be penalized. Containing, pervasive errors in grammar, usage, or mechanics that result in incoherence should be avoided. So that's all about a basic overview on argument writing and its evaluation parameters. In the upcoming videos, we'll go through all the concepts in details with the help of examples. Thank you.